So today will be loaded. Let me just promise you that. And I'm very sure there are lots to learn today. And the first question, I will want you to just raise hands so that I will use the hand raise to know how far we've gone. So the first question I would like to ask is this: how many of us have used SQL Server before or MySQL? Any of the two, either SQL Server or MySQL. If you have used it before, just raise your hands. Let me quickly do a random check. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, oh, this is a good number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 all over 18 is not bad. So we have used SQL Server before. Now let's lower our hands. Let's lower our hands. The second thing I would like to quickly confirm now is how many of us have SQL Server running on our system? If not SQL Server, MySQL, any of the two. So let me just make it rigid on SQL Server. Good. We have good number. Oh, just 4 of us. 5 of us. Okay. We have 5 of us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So without wasting time, I think the section is better we start by installing SQL Server. We do overview of SQL Server today, and we'll move on. So we want to learn SQL. SQL simply means structured query language, and we can use any. Number 3, we have PostgreSQL. But if you have Microsoft SQL, Oracle, or MySQL, then you will not be installing all of them. Please feel free. I have all of them on my system just because we meet different clients. If you want to have it, if you have a system, please feel free to dump them on your system. So let's quickly do a short introduction to SQL Server generally. And I'm going to give you some things that will really help you in this course, because at the end of this series of SQL Server, you should be comfortable with any form of database out, any form. I don't care the database they are using, they all look alike. Oh, good one. Let me quickly confirm. How many of us have Microsoft Access on our, we all have Microsoft Access on our system? If you don't have Microsoft Access on your system, raise your hand. That's a good one. Since we all have that one, so be using that. If you don't have, oh, the Nexus, you don't have access. Opera, you don't have, wow, I can't believe this. Dada, you don't have access. Collins, no, I can't believe this. We all have access. Maybe you don't know you have Microsoft Access on your system. So let me quickly bring up my slide. I think I should have a PowerPoint slide. Okay. Well, let me bring up my PowerPoint slides and let's see what you can. Okay, so let me see. Please should confirm if you can see my screen.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Is PG admin?
Hello, yeah.
Are you hearing me, sir?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Clear.
I said, is PG admin same
It's
as
what?
MySQL? PG admin, is it the same as MySQL?
Yes, it's also that's PostgreSQL. It's it's different from MySQL. MySQL, you can use things like PHP admin or Workbench for MySQL, but PostgreSQL, you use GA for PostgreSQL. As I told you, you have different types of what's it called? All these data, all these database we have out there. But you will soon see that they all look alike. They all look alike. So that is one thing you will see shortly. Now, let me quickly go back to my screen. Can you see my PowerPoint screen? Please confirm.
Not yet.
Why can't you use PowerPoint slide? Then, is there any issue with my screen? What about now?
Please, other people should confirm if you can see
Hello,
the screen.
Shus, you
But
can't see
for
my
me,
screen?
No.
I can't see the screen.
No, we can't. No,
Yeah,
we can't.
yeah.
No, we can't.
I'm sharing.
Okay.
Okay, you can see it now, right?
Not yet.
Not yet. Not
Not-
yet.
Not yet. Oh, there's a big issue with my system then. This is not too good. What's happening? Let me see if I can switch to another network. I want to stop sharing. Let me try it again. Share my screen. Share the entire screen. Is it coming up now?
Not
For
yet.
me, for me, I can't see it.
Not yet.
This is tough for me. Why are you doing this to me today?
All day.
Why are you doing this? Switch to another network. So, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank God. Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Yes.
Okay, yes.
Yes, better now. We can see it now.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think this other network is faster. Okay, so thank you very much. So let me quickly throw up the screen. So we're actually looking at introduction to Microsoft SQL Server and the contents. Number one, we want to have an understanding of database. What exactly is database and what do you understand by RDBMS and the concept around relational database management system? We want to see how we can download, install, and configure SQL Server today. And I will tell you about different editions that we have. And if you have enough space, you know the type of edition you will go for. We'll do that shortly. After which, we're going to see how we can create a database. And now, if you don't want to create a database, there are some database ready-made for us by Microsoft. We have a lot of database to play with. So we can download some database from Microsoft and make use of those database. So we want to see how we can download the database and restore that database so that we'll be able to use it in our next series. The next section, that's next Saturday, then we already have all what it takes to do our class. So today is majorly to prepare our system because 4/18 is not a good one. I want all of us to have this thing up and running on our system today. So let's, without wasting much time, let me drop this on the meeting link for all of us. Confirm the meeting link chat. Please, I just dropped something on the chat. Confirm you have it. Do you all have that link I just dropped?
Yes, we can see
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
Please, if you have access to the link, just click on the link. It takes you straight to the browser. So that is where we download SQL Server for those of you that have been interested in SQL Server to run on your system. But if those of you that wants to install MySQL, PostgreSQL, any other one, please, you are free. They all look alike, but I'm going with Microsoft SQL Server. So don't say I'm biased. I'm a Microsoft evangelist. So most of the things I'll be doing is around Microsoft. Okay, so the very first thing you'll be looking at here is the type of SQL you might want to run with. Number one, you have SQL Server on Azure. This is not the one you can install on your system. Azure is a cloud service for Microsoft. So if you want to run 100% on the cloud, this is what you need. And if you want to run in your office, this is what you need. SQL Server on premise. So, and if you come down a little bit or download a free specialized edition, please, if you see SQL Server Standard or Enterprise, that is for corporate organization that have paid. That's the type of edition they use. But for you to practice, you are free to use the developer edition, or you are free to use the Express edition. These two, they are free, but what's the difference? Developer edition is a complete edition, just like the Enterprise or the, what's it called? The Enterprise or the Standard edition that I mentioned is complete. It has all the features, but you must not use it for deployment. Don't ever do anything with it and give it to a client. It is illegal. Microsoft can sue you for that. It's just for you as a developer to express yourself, to test the platform, to test everything about you before you deploy it. The other one that is absolutely free, if you like deploy it, is an Express version, but is a smaller version, not as detailed as others. So the choice is yours. It's very small. You can use this. And for developer, you can use this. I will not tell you which one to go with, but just make up your mind and move. For those of you that want to also run SQL Server on Linux, on Docker, on Windows, you still have them there. Now, the last part here is very, very important. These are connectors. We want to use SQL Server with Python. You have to use this driver or connector. With Ruby, you have to use this driver or connector. With Node.js, with Microsoft ODBC, with Microsoft JDBC, or with ADO.NET. Now, you can download the connectors, but our concentration, we are not developers, so we don't need anything around this side. What we need is here. Microsoft SQL Server is an engine, but you cannot just drive that engine. You need something that will help you drive the engine. It's just like somebody giving you a car and just give you the engine of the car alone. The engine is in brain, is everything, but the engine can actually move you to anywhere. You need something that will run with that engine, and that is called Management Studio. SQL Server Management Studio. After you've downloaded the SQL Server you want to run, you will need a Management Studio to be able to work on that SQL Server. So you come here to download the Management Studio. Now, there are two things I've mentioned. Number one, download the edition of SQL Server you want to use. Number two, download the Management Studio. It's here on that same link. Your company already have a database in the cloud, and they want you to manage that database. You can use Management Studio, but there is one specially designed for that. It's called Azure Data Studio. This one is specially designed for your cloud service. It's just like Management Studio. So that is that. You can also do it on Management Studio if you don't want to use this. It's accepted. Number 3 on the list is called SQL Server Data Tools. Please, if you want to do the Power BI we are doing now, in those days, we don't have Power BI to help us. What we do is called MSBI, Full Track MSBI. If you want to learn Full Track MSBI, please, this is the house you must come to. You must download the SQL Server Data Tool. Everything you are seeing in Power BI is here, but this one is a full Visual Studio. As if you are building a data warehouse, you are building a reporting tool, a cube, all those things, they are inside this. It's much more technical. Most organizations, this is what they use. Power BI is self-service. It's like a fraction of this. So this is where you have your SSIS, SSRS, SSAS. So if you don't have this tool, you will not be able to do all those things. Though they will be inside the engine as we install the engine, but these are the tools that will help you work on those engines. So I've mentioned 3 things now. The third one is data migration assistant. I have a data on premises and they feel, guys, can't you move this data to the cloud for us? We've just paid for a cloud service. Don't look at it as something difficult. With the help of data migration assistant, you just click, it will do the whole work for you. It will help you migrate all your database from one place to another, from one server to another, with ease, without stress. So this is what you use. Or a company is telling you that, look, we are using Oracle, but now we feel like we should migrate to Microsoft SQL Server. Tell them no problem. You can let them do the migration. If you are not good in Oracle, don't stress yourself. With the help of the migration assistant, you can move from Oracle to Microsoft SQL Server with ease, just a click away from you. Now, this page I'm showing you is majorly all you need to download. But please, you are downloading the latest version. If you want the old version, you can get the old version, the previous version. But if you come to their landing page, Microsoft only have this landing page I've shown to you. They only have the latest version there, which is SQL Server 2019. So I will go with the developer. You can go with any of the two. Oh, let me open the Express. Let me click on download for the Express edition. I hope it's downloading. When you click, it's a small file that will be downloaded. Don't think that's the file. That's not the file. When you open that file, let me launch the file. It will now take you to the setup page. I hope you can still see my screen. Can somebody confirm to me?
Yes, we can.
Good. Good. So this is the Express edition. When you get to the Express edition, you are free again to say, look, give me the basic download or give me the custom download. Custom will allow you to pick what exactly you want. Basic give you all what you need, and give me the download media. Any of this we start installing immediately. Download media means it will forward download. You can now install. If I go to the download media, this is the Express edition. It's just 255 megabytes to install. So the advanced Express edition is much bigger. That's 796 megabytes. You have the local DB. You don't need this. You can go with any of these if you are going for the Express. Close. I'm not doing the Express. I'm doing the developer. It's more detailed. For those of you that will be trying to go into the complete SQL Server training and everything, replication, anything you might think of about the database. So you go for the what? You can go for the developer edition. The same thing in the developer edition, you can start installing straight. You can decide to download the media. So the media has two. It can come as ISO, that's the compressed version, or it can come as normal installer, the one you prefer. So let me just go with the ISO. So when you download the ISO, is a compressed single file that is called a mountable disk image. So anytime you want to use it, you just mount it and it start working. I prefer this because it's just a single file that will be downloaded. So as I click on this, the next thing is it's going to download in c/user/download. It's going to my download folder, but I can say it should go to any other folder I want. So at this point, I will click on what? Download, and it will start downloading. Don't forget the size. I'm downloading 1 gigabyte. So I will not want this to hold me down. So cancel. But for you, you don't have option. You have to download. I've done this download early this morning. So let me go to my download folder. But for you, I've explained is if you want Express, go for Express. If you want the developer edition, go for a developer edition. But you've seen the rules guiding it. But if you have the standard or enterprise edition, please don't buy a pirated license because it's very, very illegal to use those ones. So I'm going to my download folder. On my download folder, I downloaded the complete one. Where are thou? Oh, let me go to my hard disk. Is there anything like MSBI? Okay, this is the complete version of the SQL Server 2019 that I downloaded early today. Now let me launch it. If I open it up, this is what you will see in the folder. Any SQL version given to you to install, this is what you will get. How do you install the engine? Don't forget, this one we are talking about is still the engine. And to use your work, we are still coming back to this guy here called Management Studio. But let's set up the SQL Server itself. I will double click on Setup and I will say yes. Once I click on Setup, it will start. Please wait while SQL Server will do all this check. Now, this is the screen. This is the interface. You're only going to do this installation once and forever. And please, when doing this installation, if you are with me at this point, if you have a good internet and you've downloaded your file, good for you. If not, note every page. Okay, I think it's recorded. Shooks. The section is recorded. You can always fall back to the section to get your installation done. So there are a lot of issues we have during the installation. Now, if you look at this side, this is telling me the planning stage, the installation proper. In case you have a maintenance you want to do, so you want to do maintenance like repairing the SQL Server is complaining, you can come back to repair it. You can do the edition upgrade. Maybe what the edition you are using before is enterprise. Is developer. You want to move it to what? To enterprise. So because the company is ready to pay and you have to migrate it, upgrade it, these are all the tools you need and gives you all what you want. So these are maintenance. You can go to the tools. For the tools, there are a lot of tools for you. For resources, you want a lot of resources around SQL Server, the book online, and so on and so forth. You have a lot of resources for you. Advanced, these are advanced installation you might be interested in and other options. But for me, I want to start with planning. Planning is just to tell you, look, I cannot just sit on any system. Let me know, is your system ready for me? What is the hardware and software requirement to hold SQL Server? So please, these are the things you must first of all do. Now, let's assume we've done our requirement checkup and everything looks okay. Then we now go to what? The installation proper. On the installation, it's telling me, do you want to install a new SQL Server standalone installation, or you want to add to existing SQL Server that you have installed? You want to add more features to the one you have installed, or you just want to install the reporting service. This is the SSRS we are talking about, SQL Server Reporting Service. Is that what you want to install on your system, or you want to install SQL Server Management Tool? Or these are all possible things you might be interested. You want to install. This is the data tool. But if you click on it, it will start downloading. But if you have it downloaded, you can launch it. But what I want to do here is give me a new SQL Server installation. So when you click on this, it's going to launch the interface. Now, this is the interface. It knows that I am using the developer edition, the one I just downloaded. It's telling me that, guy, this is a developer edition. I can come here and say, no, it's actually evaluation. Evaluation is a full edition, but it's just for some days. I think 180 days. Yes, it's just for 180 days. So, but I can go with Express. Express edition is absolutely free. But this one, I need the developer. Give me the developer edition. I am a developer and I want to use this to learn, to prepare what I'm going to face at the site location. Now I'm going with developer. I will hit my next button. Once I hit my next button, I don't have option. I have to accept the license, except you don't want to install it. So I will accept the license. You can take your time to read through the statement, the privacy statement, and once you are okay with it, please, you can now accept. But for this training, I'm accepting. I've read the content over before. So at this point, he has done some things. So he's now doing what you call install setup file. So he's trying to help me install my setup file. So he's running through, doing a check. Number one, he has scanned for product updates and it's completed. So download setup file. He has skipped it because I've already downloaded the setup file. So extract setup file. He has skipped it because I already have the file extracted. So installing setup file in progress. So as you can see, it's taking time to install the setup files for me. So I hope this will not hold me. So good. I guess is done with that. I want to complete the setup because it's a little bit technical. I need you to understand how to set up this guy and we'll move with it. Come on, great. Now, this is the installation interface. Now, it's telling me install rules. Number one, he has done some check and he passed it, but one of them is not failed, is a warning. Warning will not stop you from installation, but he's telling you that, guy, there's something I observe here. So at this point, he's telling me window firewall. I can click there to get more things I need to do, but since it's a warning, I can go ahead by clicking next button. When you click on your next button, it takes me to this interface. Please don't overload your system if you don't need it. If you don't need anything, don't overload your system. Now, what I just need here is give me the database engine service. That is all I need you to do for me. I'm not doing a SQL Server replication. If I want to do it, I will pick it. I'm not doing machine learning services. If I want to do machine learning service, I'll pick it. Which of the service? Is it R, Python, or Java? I'll pick the one I'm interested in. But that's not what I'm doing here. I want to do full text search. I'm not doing full text search. I want to do data quality service. These are all possible things you can do. For those of you that are interested in the full MSBI stack, then you will be interested in analysis services. You can pick it. But if it's just database that we are doing during this series, don't bother about this guy. It's of no use to you. Now, let me see other things that is of use to us. SSIS, this is SSAS we always talk about. Analysis services. This is the integration services, SSIS. If you need it, please pick it. If you don't need it, please abandon it. Now, SSRS in 2019 is not part of this. In the previous version, you will see reporting service somewhere here, you pick it. But now you have to install reporting service separately. Is now on its own. Look at it. Reporting service is now on its own. So now you pick what you want, is your choice. But the one that matters to me is this first one, database engine. That's our real database. And as you are selecting, please check the size. The size that it needs 1.7 gigabytes on this selection. and my hard disk is 32 gigabytes. That means I can still pick more things. And the more you pick here, can you see it has gotten to 2 gig. At the end of the whole show, you might get up to 7 gig. But please, I don't need all this. Just give me my database, analysis service, and integration services. So that is that. But for all of you, database alone is okay, except for those of you that have been interested in MS PI. So there's a training. It's a paid training, it's not a free training. If you want to participate in that training and you are on this call, please, I will advise you install this and install integration service is needed for our training. Now, let me hit next button. Come on, great. When you get here, please, at this point, I will advise you stay with the default instance. What difference between default instance and named instance? If you already have SQL Server running on your system, so the first time you install it, you can give it to the default instance. But I already have SQL Server running. I have a lot of server here already. I will not go with default instance. I will go with what? Named instance. So this one, I will call it SQL Saturday, SQL SAT. Let me just call it, no, Power BI SAT, PBI SAT. This is I'm setting up this instance just for us. So, and I'm calling it Power BI Saturday. Now, the instance ID, he has given me the instance ID. Whatever I put here is what is going to give to me here. And it's telling me, giving me different installation. The edition is developer. And the version is 13 point blah, 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 blah. All the details, I have them there. Now, where is he going to drop this? He's going to drop it in C program files. Okay, I already have some instance installed. Yes, this one instance I have installed. This one is also a developer and is running. But this one I'm installing now is going to take another position on my hard disk. So telling me, guys, you have a lot of things running here. This is another instance I installed. This is another instance I've installed. So, but for this one, it's going to stay in Microsoft SQL Server folder, and it's going to stay here. At this point, I will hit next button. When I hit next button, then I will start configuring the server. So, come on. So, fine. The server configuration. Now, the server configuration is telling me, good. How do you want me to run this server for you? There are a lot of services there. Do you want the services to run automatic, or you want the service to run manually? Number one, the database engine. I don't have option. I'll make it run automatic. But if you don't want, you can say I should run it manually or disable. Don't even run. Just install it. Don't run. It will not be enabled for you. The analysis services, automatic. Integration services, automatic. SQL Server browser. Can somebody easily see your SQL Server? Yes. Be available, automatic. The only one that is not automatic is the agent. So that means you can call up the agent anytime. So it will be installed until you need the agent to work. You call it up. So like I said, my major concern is the database engine here for this class. So I will select this, and from there, I will hit my next button. So once I hit my next button, please, this is another important part. Anytime you are installing SQL Server, I always recommend a mix mode. A mix mode by default is going to give you a window authentication mode. That is the login you use for your Windows. Whenever you are logging into your Windows, anybody that the account you are installing with, that account is automatically the default account. I'll say, no, please, I want a mix mode. When you say mix mode, you ask for a password. Please, by default, the username for SQL Server is SA. That's the default global user admin. So it's called the SA. That is your SQL Server admin. And the password is what you give to it. Like my SQL, the global admin is root. You cannot give your password to it. So now let me give the user, enter the password. For this one, call it, I'm typing my password. Nobody will see that. and it wants to be sure the password I type is correct. I type it again. Now, apart from the, when look at it, miss mode, that is the window authentication, the person that logged into this window, and also SQL Server. I've already provided my password for SA. The username is SA and the password is provided. Is that all? You want to add other users? I can come in and say, yes, add other user. Add the current user, the man using the computer at the moment. His name will be added. That means he can log in. And after that, if you are on the admin, I can say add. It will give me on the Active Directory. You can type the name of people that should have access to the database, but it's a personal use. Don't let me stress myself. So this is the user, and I've already provided other information. I will hit my next button. So, okay. Where is the error button? It should specify a strong password. Why are you stressing me? The old version will not stress you, but this new version is stressing me seriously. What should I now put? Let me just say, I want to install. Okay. I want to install. Put at 1, 2, 3. So no place on that will they complain about this. Good. Next. Fantastic. I hope I will not forget what I type now. Deji. So that you will not forget. Come and type something here. I want to install at 1, 2, 3. Good. So that's my password. Now let me go back. So on getting here, it's now going to ask me, look, you asked me to install analysis service for you. The analysis service you want to install, should it be NDS, multidimensional, or it should be tabular, or it should be power pivot mode? Please, because all of us on this call, we are Power BI people. If you want something that will look like Power BI, just go with tabular mode. If you go with multidimensional, then you are going to stress yourself seriously. It's much more technical. But since you're already used to Power BI, just tell you that the analysis services should be what? A tabular mode. Once you do that, add the current user to it. You can add other user if you want to, but with the current user, I think I'm okay. I'll move on. So at this point, my system is ready to install all these things for me. And all I need to do is now to click on what? Install. So I don't want to waste time because it's going to take quite a while, about 15 to 30 minutes to complete this installation process. So I will not just click install, but for you, click on install. That is the end of your installation. The next one you need to now install, which is pretty simple, is the Management Studio. Back to my browser. This is your Management Studio. Just click on your Management Studio. When you click on your Management Studio, now you can download Ssms, SQL Server Management Studio. So just click on it and you download your SQL Server Management Studio. So I'm going straight to click on it. So when I click on it, download it. When you click on download, it will download the SQL Server Management Studio. This one does not have any technical things in it. Just download and install. Because of time, I will not bother to download, or install it. But it's not technical, it's just straightforward. Now, when you install this, what will you see? Once you are done with the installation, come to start. From start, just type SQL. When you type SQL, you will see Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. I'm running version 17. You might be running 18. Like the latest one that will be downloaded is number 18. But I think I have the one before this one, which is 17. So no problem. SQL. I already downloaded my Management Studio. So let me click on it. When I click on it, it will open up the SQL Server Management Studio. So we have learned so far how you can download and configure it during installation. Download, install, and configure. Now, on getting here, it's not asking me the server name. If I've completed that installation before, the instance name I gave it is I think PBI SQL, if I'm not making mistake. This is all I need to type. But if you use a default instance, no problem. Just type, for default instance, ordinary dot will work for you. Or the name of your system. Just type the name of your system, or just type localhost. That is all. But for me, I already have my server running on SQL Server. That is the name of my server. Now, who is going in? Like I said, you can have SA. If you have SA, the login, because I use miss mode, I have SA, I must provide a password for SA. The password for my SA to open the engine, I will just paste it there and I'm okay. I use a miss mode. I can just say window authentication. As long as you are the one that log into this window, it will connect. If you are not the one, it will not connect. Let me connect and see if I can go in. Great, it has opened. Once you open, you will see this side telling you that you have been able to connect to SQL Server. The version of the server you connected to is 13. The one you are downloading, the 2019 version, is 15. So if you download it and you install, yours will tell you that is the version you are connected to. And also, this is the tool, the user that logged in. He has given me the detail. I have database. If you already have database here, if you click on this plus, it will show you all the database you have here. So please, for the sake of training, I want you to download a sample database and you restore the database. We are going to learn how to create your database afresh. And we are also going to learn how to work with a ready-made database. So there are some database by Microsoft. Some of them is Adventure Work, Contoso, and so on. So please, how do you download sample database? To download sample database is still the same way. So let me see. SQL Server, I need sample database. Where is my browser? Okay, just come here. Download. I'm on a search engine. Download sample. Download sample SQL Server database. Press your enter button. It will tell you, I'm looking for Microsoft folder or GitHub, Adventure Work. Can you see Adventure Work for you? You can download Adventure Work. So there are so many sample database, but let me go with Adventure Work. So for the sake of this training, I will recommend we all download Adventure Work. Now on getting here, prerequisite, download a backup file. You can download a backup file for use. When you click on download backup file, please don't get confused at this point. There are lots of them. So let's see. So there is 2019 backup. If you are running 2019, you can use 2019 backup. But if I install the previous version before 2019, maybe 2017 or 2016, and you want to run 2019 backup, it might give you some challenge. So please be sure of the version of SQL Server engine you are running. So once you are sure, then go ahead and download the correct sample database to work with. Now, please, if you look at the columns, they are different. One is OLTP, one is data warehouse, and the last one is the lightweight. So lightweight is a small version of all these database. Whereas this one is what? This one is the data warehouse. It's already prepared for a data warehouse. They've done some modeling already on it, but we are not working with this. If you want to work with the lightweight, it's okay. Just a smaller, and you can work with the full version. So the OLTP, don't let me even talk about it. Somebody should tell me the meaning of OLTP. Now, so what is the OLTP? And also, what is ALTP? So now, with what we have here, I can go with this or I go with the last one. Because of time, let me download the lightweight. I just want to show you how to restore it on your system. Oh, I don't have 2019. No, that will not work for me. Sorry. I have, let me download, I'm not sure the version. It should be 2016. Let me download 2016. I'm downloading 2016 lightweight version of this. It's very small because I'm choosing lightweight. I'm not choosing this one. This one is about 30 meg. So the lightweight version for 2016 is ready. Let me open it. This is a file I just downloaded, just 7 meg. I want this file to show in my management studio. And that marks the end of our section today. Adventure Work 2016 lightweight. This is a data warehouse. I don't have the lightweight here already. I want to install that now. So how will I do it? From here, I will right click on database and say, please restore for me a database. Restore a database because it's a backup file. If you take a look at it, it's a backup file. They all ended with BAK. That's a backup. You want to restore it. So I will now say, please restore for me that backup file. Right click, restore. When I click on restore, it will now ask me, where is that file located? Is in a device. Browse and go and pick it up from the device. Add. The device is in my download. Where is download here? Okay, if I don't know where download is, where is this default folder he has opened? He has opened for me a default folder. Let me see. Let me just copy that default folder and go to my Explorer. My Explorer, dump here the URL for the default folder. This is the default folder. I will just copy that backup that is downloaded. That backup that was downloaded, just copy this guy, right click, copy it, and put it in that default folder so that I will not be wasting my time looking for it. It's now in the default folder. It has LT in it. Come back to where I have my database. I want to add a location. This is the file I just downloaded with LT. I will say I am okay. Please go ahead and restore it because that's what I'm going to use. It's telling me done. I am okay. So as simple as that, it has restored that database successfully. So at this point, if I come back here, right click on, it has even shown, but if it's not showing, right click here and click on refresh. I remember the first interview I will do in my life. I just left higher institution and I was trying to get a placement. The answer, the question they gave us a database and asked us to restore it. After restoring, I did not refresh. I keep looking for it. I did not see it. I now went back to restore. It's telling me it's already existing. In fact, I got frustrated that day. But all I needed to just is to come here, right click and say what? Refresh. Then you will see the name. This is the database we have restored. So at this point, we've been able to cover some of our content. We've been able to download, install, and configure. Though I said Express Edition, please, anyone you like, go with it. And we've been able to, we did not create, we only restore a backup we downloaded from the internet. So we are going to do more next weekend. Sorry for taking extra time today. So please let me entertain questions. Any question for me, please? Any question?
Any question? If you have questions, please.
Okay. I already have Ssms on my system. Do I need to install this again? No. No. But if you have the lower version of Ssms and you are using the latest version of Ssms, you might not really enjoy what you see on your screen. I don't know that you got my point. So you cannot be using old version of Ssms to manage 2019 version of database engine. So the choice is yours. I hope I'm clear. Hello, I hope I'm
Yes,
clear.
sir. Yes,
Good.
sir.
So any other question? I can see one hand up. Mr. Collins, any question from your end? You are muted. I can't hear you.
I thought maybe we should have loaded the warehouse, data warehouse, instead of the lightweight. The reason being that after the lectures,
Yes.
we may need, most people may need, if you want to go ahead with SQL, the advantage of the data warehouse is much more than the Lightweight.
Okay. So good. So that's a good suggestion. For those of us that will be interested, data warehouse is already prepared version for us. It's already modeled, it's already structured. So than all these other ones. So he's suggesting that why not download the data warehouse and we fly with it. That's a good suggestion. If you want a well-structured one, simple and straightforward. So you can download the data warehouse. I will strongly recommend that to go with Mr. Collins. Thank you for that suggestion. So please download the data warehouse and restore it. They are all same process. Let me see. Like what I said, can you see on my own screen? I have data warehouse 2014. I have data warehouse 2016. I have the complete one for 2014. And I have the lightweight. I just installed this one, a lightweight for 2016. All is adventure work. Now look at the difference. If I open the data warehouse and look at the tables, they are not much and they'll be structured. So you can see what I'm talking about. So look at the tables. Where are my tables? Oh, I can't see any table here.
Can we see your screen? I can't see your screen.
Oh, I thought I'm still sharing my screen.
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Okay.
Your screen is still sharing.
Mr. Collins, my screen is still showing.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay. Now, if you can see on my screen, this is a structured one. It has structured them into dimension and facts because it's a data warehouse format. But if I go to the full one, to the one that is not data warehouse, that one is loaded with lots and lots of things for us. Okay, look at the data warehouse, well structured with my dim and my fact table. They are not much, but the full one is pretty longer than this. The light one also is not that heavy. So look at it, very small. That's why I say, okay, if you can download the light one for easy understanding, we can go with the light one. But the data warehouse, there's no harm. They are all about 30 meg. Download them and play with them. Thank you very much, Mr. Collins. So any other question, please? Please, against next weekend, I will beg all of us to download and get it up and running. If you have issue on our group, on the WhatsApp group or Telegram group, drop your question, please, so that people can ask, people can support you. Those that have passed through that stage can support you. Any other question, please?
Hello, excuse me, sir. Sorry,
Yes.
the network threw me out. How soon are we going to get this recording? Because if I said I'm lost, it's an understatement. I'm thrown away completely. So if you get this recording now, at least it will do a lot of help.
How soon will this recording be ready on YouTube?
It will be ready this evening.
So please share the link with all of us on the group, on the WhatsApp group and Telegram group, so that we can. I want all of us to get past this stage before next weekend, because we are not going to install next weekend. So do it, drop it there. And for those that did not join us during this section, please encourage them to follow the video and get set for next weekend. So thank you very much, Rashid. It will be ready this evening. Any other question, please?
Excuse me, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Please, how do I join the Telegram group or WhatsApp group?
Okay.
I'm new here.
The WhatsApp group is actually filled up at the moment. We are more than the number, but you can join the Telegram group. Shooks, please drop the link for the Telegram group on the chat now, so that Samuel can join the Telegram group. And for any other person on this call that is not in our WhatsApp or Telegram group, please follow that link to join the Telegram group. Thank you very much, Samuel. Another question?
Thank you, sir.
Another question? So please, it's a little bit technical, but by the time we start using it, you find that it's not far from what we know. But let's get our environment ready today, please. Before next Saturday, the environment should be ready. Rashid.
Yes, sir. Sir, today you are just moving like a jet. Please, I think you need to because of people like us. We are
Okay.
very, very fast. We are very, very fast, sincerely.
Okay. Sorry about that, but we have not done anything special. It's just to show you how to install, and I don't want to extend this installation to next Sunday. I mean to next Saturday. So that's why. So you can go through the video over and over. When we start using it, then you will find that we are not going to rush. We don't have cause to rush. But
Okay, sir.
because of this installation process, I don't want to exceed this day. That is why I'm a little bit fast. So go ahead, download it, set it up. If you have issues setting it up, please, on the meeting chat, drop your challenge, snap your screen. We will run you through, we'll guide you. The major thing is you must have it running on your system. Once it's running on your system and you can open your studio like this, if you can open your studio like this and you can see database security, everything showing the way it's showing on my screen, and you are able to drop a database you've downloaded, sample database like Adventure Work, DW 2014. If you can restore a database like this on your system, then I am okay. That means we are ready for our next class. But if you don't have this screen that looks like this, please complain on the chat. Let us quickly support you before next Saturday. I don't want to run through this process again next weekend. I hope I'm clear.
Yes, sir.
So thank you very much. So is there any other question? Okay, if there is none, I hand over to Shooks. Shooks, over to you.
All right, thank you very much, sir, for the section, and we we are indeed grateful for this for the startup for today. So by next week we'll be having another section like this. So let us get ourselves prepared, just like he said, and I will try as much as possible to ensure that this particular section is being uploaded to our YouTube page, to our YouTube studio today, so that we can lay hold on this video. So thank you very much. Till we meet next week Saturday. Bye everyone.
Yeah, bye.
Bye. Thank you, Mr. Deji. Thank you, Chips. Bye, everyone.